We're going to sweeten things up on today's show, and we're in the kitchen with the sweetest lady ever, Christine, the happy cookie lady. Good to see you.
You too.
I understand you wanted to say hello to some folks.
Yes, I was able to spend a lovely hour or so with some ladies at the Renaissance Assisted Living Center a few weeks ago, decorating cookies and talking with them. And I just want to say hi. I know they're watching today, so.
Hi, everybody.
I had fun. I had fun.
I'm sure they had great fun too. Christine, of course, is known for making people happy with her lovely, lovely cutout cookies. She brought some beautiful cookies for fall. Looks like some of them have some fall flavored frosting too.
The pumpkin pie spice and my new butterscotch, as well as vanilla.
Oh, how pretty. So if you need to have cookies for a certain occasion, whether it be a special birthday party, a shower, a wedding for treats, you name it, call Christine. She will bake them up for you, deliver them, bag them if you'd like, and if you have a certain theme, she's got the cookie cutter for it. What, 500 or more?
Over 600.
Different cookie cutters. 600. So trust me, she's got it covered when it comes to picking out the theme. So we are making a quick bread today. We've got the soup going, which is such a fall thing. Really nice to have some bread to go with it.
Wonderful with it.
Yeah, great combination. So tell us about this bread.
This is a pumpkin zucchini bread. Now, my husband is a very good gardener. We had zucchini like you wouldn't believe, and I do grate it up and freeze it grated.
And you freeze it grated just
I just do
fresh.
2 cups. Yeah, I just grate it up, put 2 cups in a bag and freeze it, and then every time I have a recipe, I just take out what I need. But I did have 1 zucchini left, so I used the fresh for today, but
that's
comes in handy.
Great to know that you can freeze it like that.
Yeah.
You don't need to cook it, just shred it up, and then when you come to thaw it, you just thaw it in the fridge?
I thaw it in the fridge, and I drain a little bit of the juice because it does end up leaving a little bit of liquid in the thing. So so it doesn't get too wet.
Good to know, because you can throw it into soups that way, or
I do it in
breads,
chunks too for soups.
Okay.
So you just need to get rid of a little bit of the, of course, if you're doing a soup, you wouldn't need to drain the juice.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a great tip.
Well, let's start this bread, and I love pumpkin anything.
I do too, yeah.
So we're going to beat 3 eggs just real lightly.
Okay.
And then we're going to add some, that's perfect. And then we're going to add some sugar to that. I don't know if you want to use the whisk or if you want to use a spoon, which works better for you.
All right.
It's about 2 cups of sugar.
Okay.
And then we have some pumpkin puree, not the pumpkin pie filling, but the pumpkin puree without the spices, because you're going to add your own spices.
Okay.
And you've added your own sugar already, so. Oh, excuse me. And then we've got 2 sticks of butter that we've melted.
Okay.
You want to let it cool down a little bit so it's not too hot, because you're sticking it in with eggs. You don't want scrambled egg bread.
Okay.
Although
no, we don't.
A little bit of vanilla, whole tablespoon of vanilla. And then while you're mixing that up, I've got 3 cups of flour, and we have baking soda, baking powder, and salt, you know, the staples. And then we've got ground cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon. It's about half teaspoon of each. So if you wanted to, those are basically the things in pumpkin pie spice. You could substitute, if you have the pumpkin pie spice, about a
couple teaspoons of that?
Yeah, it would be 1.5 teaspoons altogether, so it'd be similar. But I kind of like knowing exactly what I'm putting in there. So if you want to beat
and this is when we
you kind of do it gradually, but we'll just.
This is going to make 2 loaves?
It's going to make 2 nice size loaves.
That's nice. One for you, one to bring to the office.
5 or 6 of the smaller loaves. I like having those in my freezer for, you know, for little gifts and things. This would be a perfect bread done in a pretty wrapper with ribbon around to put at each person's place at Thanksgiving.
Oh, what a nice idea.
It's a little take-home thing.
I have one of those loaf pans, too, that cooks 4 at once. It's nice, those mini loaf pans.
And once you get that all, see, it's going to be a nice thick batter, so.
With these quick breads, you just want to kind of incorporate it. You don't want to overmix it, right? So
well, you do want to make sure all the flour is mixed in. It's not quite like a muffin.
Okay, okay.
What's nice is that you don't have to get the mixer out and the beaters and the whole thing there.
How are we looking?
That looks good.
Okay.
And then we'll add a cup of shredded zucchini.
Okay.
And a cup of, I use walnuts, but if you prefer pecans or whatever your favorite nut is, you could use it. And whenever I'm doing a quick bread like this, I try getting not a ground nut, but a smaller chop on it, because otherwise you're slicing the bread and you're hitting that nut, and then you get the funny looking slices.
Good point. And you know, the zucchini in this bread not only, add some
See, it melts out. You
vegetable in
can't
there.
even see it
yeah,
in the actual
but
bread.
it keeps it so nice and moist.
Between that and the pumpkin, it really is a nice moist bread.
So
I'm going to spray two loaf pans. Usually I would use a larger loaf pan than this, but I wanted to do disposable ones so you guys could bake it after I left. And it's kind of evenly. And then what you're going to do is you bake this about 45-50 minutes, or until the old toothpick test in the middle. You want to make sure that it's done.
What's the oven temperature?
350, I believe.
Okay. Is that about full enough?
Yeah, that's good. And then you're going to bake it up. You're going to cool it for a few minutes in the pan, about 10 minutes in the pan, and then put it out on a cooling rack.
And does it come right out?
It came out really
easy?
nice. You just have to make sure to spray the pan. So.
And here we have the loaf, and then we have it all
and
sliced up.
it is very nice and moist inside. I mean, it slices very nicely, especially with these nice new knives you have. But it is a very nice, moist.
That looks fantastic.
Would that be good with some Door County pumpkin butter on it?
Ooh,
or some apple butter?
Oh, really good. Now, question: if you're going to bake these loaves, to freeze them, just
bake them like you normally would.
Okay.
Totally let them chill completely. I always wrap mine in plastic wrap and then foil.
Okay.
And then I put them in a Ziploc bag. We don't want any freezer burn, because you go through all this work, and you want to. Then if you're gonna freeze them, I'd take them out of the freezer a day ahead of when you're gonna give them or take them or whatever. But you probably only need a couple hours. But you don't want to give somebody something that's still frozen in the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great recipe! This looks fantastic, and something else to do with all that zucchini that's still out there and around.
And it is.
Yeah, it really is.